Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload, and today we have yet another best of 5, and this time it is a best of 5 between Bly and Special from WCS Jönköping that I found on LOTV.spawningtool.com. I know this is a little bit old, but I was looking for a best of 5 to cast and realized I hadn't cast very many series from Jönköping. Not entirely sure why, but maybe it had something to do with the fact that WCS Valencia replays were released soon afterwards. Alright, so in the top left corner of the map here in game number 1, we have the Red Zerg player Bly from Ukraine. And hailing from Mexico, we have the Blue Terran player. It is Special. Alright, so Special versus Bly here for you today. Should be an excellent ZVT best of 5. Probably the most popular matchup on the channel is the ZVT. And again, this is about 2 months old. So we're going to see things, the patches are not going to be completely straight up to date here. I'm struggling to think of what has changed in the last 2 months in StarCraft 2, though. Help me out here in the comments. Think what major things have happened. I mean, I guess between Jönköping and Valencia is what I'm thinking here, because I don't have anything much newer than Valencia. At this point, I'd love to get more stuff, but it's really hard to find. WCS doesn't often release all of the replays for all of their tournaments, and it kind of leaves people like us in the dark a tiny bit. But we've always got cheese compilations, always have the One Trick Wednesday. We've always got the GM level stuff and the Masters level stuff and team stuff, and it's just a good time. Good time here on the channel. Reaper on the way from Special. His name is going to be, actually, her name? This is very confusing. Zaz? I think it's Zaz. Kerrigan smiled at his supposed death, but motivated by his hatred and helped by Alex's magic ability to alter time for Reaper purposes, he gifted an infested Terran with part of his brain matter before the Dark Templar killed him. Now this new Zaz is sowing chaos throughout the Kaprulu sector, trying to bring back the Age of the Overmind and destroy the Queen of Blades. So these are some early links from Bly, sneaking up around towards this 4th base location for Special, going to come down to the natural base and try to stop it. And the Reaper does not see this. Special made a special effort there with Zaz to see these lings coming in, checking the southern path, but just bad luck as the attack's actually coming from the north. Is he going to come back in and try to save this? He knows that Bly is often all about doing this. Overlord does scout it. The lings immediately pull back to the 3rd. This keeps the Reaper at home, which does allow the base to finish, which is kind of a problem for Bly. These lings effectively doing nothing, but it does keep the Reaper from trying to kill anything. It gives time for the Queens to come out, gives time for speed to finish, and the Reaper is relegated to a glorified security guard. And there it is. The base is done. Reaper can move out, but that extra 30 seconds or so was a huge deal in allowing Bly to do whatever the heck he wants. He's got 2 Queens at his natural base already. He's got 1 inside his main. He's spreading creep. He's going to get his 3rd base down with no problem. Special's going to try to stop it. Zaz here going to try to stop that from happening, but he's going to be about 5 seconds too late, which can be all the difference in StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Lings are still hanging out here at this 3rd base, hiding along this outer edge wall. They might still try to get in here. I feel like they could, but the Hellions are just about done, so maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, Zaz here with 0 kills. The Queens want to murder him so bad. Might get a creep tumor if he comes up this thing right now. Ready? 1, 2, and KD8 charge canceled. Oh, beautifully canceled by Bly. That does give you that creep tumor back here to respawn. But if it dies, you can't do that. There's no respawn. You just have to start another tumor to get it moving along this path again. So great reaction time there by Bly. Trying to pick off. Can he KD8 charge that? Oh, we could probably... Yeah, it'd be 2 right now, though. 10 damage per KD8 charge is not enough to kill that tumor. And yeah, Zaz pretty much shut down right here. And, oh, don't hop up there. Bad place to be. Get out of there, Zaz. Zaz is dead. Speedlings running into the natural base of Special, too. All 6 of them. Hellions here to defend, though, so this is really not a problem at all for our Terran player. Anything going to die? The lings are going to die, that's for sure. Bit of a Widowmine drop? No, Hellion drop. 4 Hellion drop here inside the main. Lings and Queens joining the party, getting some nice shots off here on these Hellions. I think they're going to try to kill these Lings, go after some drones, and then get picked up again. But the problem is, yeah, there we go. Can't go too far in because the medevac can't get far enough inside the base without dying. So did not go in and actually go after the drones at all. Kill some Zerglings. 14 Lings have died in exchange for a Reaper and a Hellion. 34 to 37 harvesters. Third base is done for Bly. He should probably send a queen down there to start injecting, and indeed he is. Queen on the way. Great wall of supply depots is up for Special, and here comes a group of Hellions. It's going to be 5 of them moving across the map from the bottom right to the top left. Looks like a Cloak Banshee follow-up out of Special here too. Roaches in production for Bly. There's already 1 Banshee here at the third base, immediately making a Spore Crawler. And it doesn't have the Queen. Oh, Cloak just now finishing. Queen fantastically, smartly getting the heck out of there. Spore Crawler here at the natural. Not done yet. You have a window. You have a window to kill these drones. I'm liking this a lot. 2 drones down, 3 drones down. Bly just can't do anything about this until that Spore Crawler finishes. Ling's trying to run on up and do an attack at the natural, but there is a wall of supply depots and Hellions, so no. Not going to happen. Hellbat transformation done for Special here too. What? Hellbat transformation, Hellbat Banshee. This is a very strong combination for Terran players. I don't know if Bly's going to be able to handle this. The Banshee has 5 kills. It takes a lot of shots to kill a roach, but anything you can do to soften them up is nice. Hellbats, so good against Zerglings, just standing in and roasting them with these flamethrowers, which do 18 damage. Whew, 18 damage with a range of 2. Roaches are starting to get some damage done on these Hellbats, with the double Banshee overhead just causing so many problems right now. Hellbats do get cleaned up by the Roach. Third base is fairly safe, but it's 49 to 39 harvesters. Third base is just about done for Special, constructed inside his natural, and he's going to send it up to this third base location. +1 vehicle weapons being researched by Special, and more Hellions in play. Is yeah, he's meching it. Oh, he's meching it here, interestingly enough. He's going for Cyclones now, double pumping off one factory, the other one single pumping because this doesn't have the mineral count to double pump, and there it is. 2 of them at a time. Triple Cloak Banshee here. Gonna at least force a cancel on this hatch, maybe just straight up kill it. Fourth base by Bly. Cancels it. Drone dead there too. These Banshees, usually if you invest this much into Banshee, you're gonna have a bad time, but I don't know. Special's doing all right. If I had to characterize this so far, I'd say he's doing okay. Some Queens trying to defend here at the main. Good transfuse, keeping that Queen alive by Bly. Excellent job stabbing away from the ground are the Queens. Anti-air, wonderful for Zerg. Few drones dead. Banshees parking themselves on this ramp between the main and the natural because there's usually not any detection here. As it turns out, Overseer trying to come in, trying to morph in, but just seems a little bit too late for this. Banshees do retreat before the Overseer comes up. Gonna maybe force a cancel on this fourth base again. There's another army coming up from Special. We got a Hellbat Cyclone push with some medevac support, forcing a cancel on the fourth base. Third base is done and happily running for Special now. It is 3 base to 3 base. Terrible spot to be in if you happen to be Bly, the Ukrainian Zerg. Here we are at the third base, and there are 4 Roaches to defend this, and they're running. They're just getting out of there. Look how quickly the Cyclones and the Hellbats take that third base down. Oh, just gone. 59 to 69 harvesters. Special's up 10 workers. Banshees trying to do more stuff inside the main, keeping those Banshees alive while wrecking the third. It's suddenly 2 base, 2 3 base. Looking real bad for Bly. He's got these Roaches, but Cyclones are so good against Roach because of that extra damage versus armored. This is not going to go well at all for our red Zerg player. Glio Reconstitution is, I think, going to get stopped, and indeed it is. There's the deny. Bam! Denied! No speed for you Roaches. There are some Queens here trying to transfuse the Roaches and keep them alive, but it's 137 to 81 total supply. Roach count is falling precipitously, and that's the good game out of Bly. Bly is defeated, and Special's victorious, taking a win here in game number 1. Let's give him a 1 next to his name. And we'll move on to game number 2 here in just a second. But dang, that was efficient. Only 1,700 resources lost from Special. Only 13 Hellbats. 1 Reaper, 1 Hellion, 1 Medevac. That's incredible for 28 Zerglings, 31 drones, 24 Roaches, 4 Queens, 2 hatcheries. I mean, that's real scary stuff. We'll see if Bly can recover here. We'll see if he can win game number 2, or if it's going to be just a quick 3-0 sweep from Special, which I wouldn't be shocked at. Again, Special's been on fire lately, but we'll have to wait and see. In game number 2 coming up in just a second. Welcome back to game number 2 of this best of 5 between Special and Bly. Here on Abyssal Reef, the Ladder Edition, also known as the Fishy Map. In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Bly. And in the top left-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Terran player up 1-2-0. It is Major, also known as Special. Have I been calling him Major? I think I have. He prefers to go by Special. these days. He made a pretty solid name change, so I apologize. I apologize for not doing this accurately. Special will do better with it for sure. So again, quick plug for my casting with Gauntlet at twitch.tv/GauntletSC2 at about 6 p.m. today, Sunday. Come get your fill of live StarCraft GM Pro level cast by Falcon Paladin along with Just Jordan. We talk about a lot of things. We talk about movies. We talk about getting a puppy together. Also a heck of a lot of StarCraft on top of that. So come say hi. Come say hi. See how it's doing. There's a link in the description for that website again. Also, I do host them on my Twitch stream. So if you go to twitch.tv/FalconPaladin at the same time, you'll see the exact same thing that Gauntlet is doing. It's like a dual stream type situation. Amazing. Super incredible stuff. And a quick plug for the podcast. If you're here as well, podcast link in the description. Wade and I, Australian and American, discuss so many things from StarCraft Remastered to StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void, potential huge balance changes. We talk about meat pies. We talk about emus, politics and geography, and it's a good time. It's just once a week, just the Falcon Paladin hour. Come say hi. Come listen and enjoy. All right, so we do have a Reaper on the way. This Reaper's name is the Betrayed. This Cerebrate watched over Kerrigan in her youth when the Overmind, his blessed father, died. He even sided with her over his Cerebrate brothers and aided in the destruction of the new Overmind. But what did he get for his loyalty to the Queen? A blade in the back. The wicked woman saw his tactical genius as a threat and killed him herself. Dude, this is bad news. This was not the end for them, however. He saw this coming ever since she ordered him to slay her allies in Core Hall. Secretly, he took hold of a battlecruiser, made sure to keep as much of his crew alive as he could, and gifted them with a glorious blessing of infestation. These new infested planted a piece of him in the center of the ship and kept it safe and hidden until his death. Once the day came, this small piece of him began to grow and he was reborn. But this time, psionic signatures hidden from the Queen. He christened his new elite Infested and the few elite Zerg he commanded the Betrayed, and swore that one day he would put a spine through Kerrigan's head as he's getting stabbed at by a queen here. But in the meantime, he requires new Infested and Zerg samples to grow his brood, so he created a mercenary group with less noticeable Infested that only accepted live Zerg, and in some shady deals, people. This Reaper is one of these elite Infested working on a contract for 4 Hunter Killers and a Torask Ultralisk. Dang. All right. Meanwhile, while he was out doing stuff, Two Lings did actually kill the SCV building this command center, which is delaying Special's ability to get this up as soon as he wants. The Reaper forced to come all the way home. Hellions probably can handle this, though. I'm not sure why the Betrayed decided to come all the way back. Unnecessary in the end. I mean, you can help kill these Zerglings, but the Hellions have a handle on 4 Lings, no problem. No problem. Anyway, it did actually delay the building of that command center by Special by about, I don't know, 20-30 seconds, which can be a huge deal. A huge deal in StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void professional games held at this level. More Cloak Banshee, more Hellions on the way from Special, just like we saw in game number 1. Third base from Bly. Will he be able to handle it this time is the question. He's still going Roach, even though I would not say that went particularly well for him in game number 1. Might want to do some more scouting here, too. Did he see? Oh, he sees it. He sees the cloak. He knows what's coming. Okay, so he's prepared this time. You don't need to make the Spore Crawlers now, as it turns out, as the Betrayed keeps running around doing some scouting. Queen's getting free shots off. You don't have to do it now, but at some point you're going to want detection a little bit earlier than you got in game number 1. The Banshee had nice windows to kill drones. Almost killed that Roach Warren, which was a huge problem too for Bly. Couldn't make additional Roaches to defend against that push. But here comes Bly. He's going to be the aggressor here, at least so far in game number 2. Ling's coming up this little choke. Roach is coming behind the Banshee, trying to pick off the Roaches. Gets one of them. SCV's pulled, trying to run for it here. Some SCVs don't run, and actually it works out for them. Oh, the wall! Supply depot wall is lifted, but there are already Roaches inside here. They don't have glial reconstitution, so you can kite, and the SCV surround. Going to be a lot easier with the slow Roach compared to the fast Roach. And there we go. That's it. All the Roaches are going to be dead here. Any SCV is going to die. Four SCVs dead so far, but I think most of those, I don't know, were most of those back here, the natural? Is this Game Heart? I don't know if this is the Game Heart. The Game Heart's interface for some reason here in game number 2. Don't know why that would be, but Seems like it is. All right, so Spore Crawlers are on the way here in all three of the mineral lines. All three of the mineral lines. Cloak Banshees coming down to the bottom right to say hello. But Spore Crawler with Queen support with an Overseer already done for Bly. It's going to be a little bit of a different situation here. The Zerg player recognizing what's going on. There's the detection. Queen. Yeah! Banshees picking off some drones. It is game heart because we get the counter on that left side. But the Queen count is... There's one more on the way, and there's already 3. So that's pretty good stuff. Hellions trying to sneak up this right side, but a Roach from Bly there to check that out as well. So Bly's map awareness and decision-making seems a lot higher than it was in game number 1. Maybe he was feeling tired or rusty when he started the series. But now he seems to be right back in the swing of things, feeling a lot more confident in what he's capable of, spreading that creep. Banshee's taking a lot of shots from the Queens. 7 kills on that Banshee, but I think most of those are Lings and Roaches. If I had to take a guess, third Banshee here, all of them cloaking perhaps a little prematurely. Hellions again trying to do stuff over here at the third base. I guess they did get some drone kills, but they're all completely dead as well. Roach is trying to move up. Banshees say, no, you're not allowed to go kill my stuff. You will die. And in fact, the Roaches did until they ran back to the creep and the safety of their Queens. So Special is going to keep his third base from getting attacked with these Banshees. They have a really nice map control against Roach attacks anyway. Infestation Pit on the way from the Bly. 5 drones at a time on the way. Glial Reconstitution being researched by our Zerg player. And a 4th base on the way from Bly 2. Excellent. Excellent timing on that. 7 minutes into the game. Overlord does scout out this third base, just barely scouting out the third base. Marine trying to kill him. Is this going to be a bio or a mech? It's going to be mech. 3 factories here from Special. He is good with the mech. I know a lot of players don't like to use it. They don't feel like it's strong enough. Blizzard's actually been suggesting buffs to mech that we've seen on the public test realm. They want to see more of it, but Special is one of those players that is totally fine with using mech and can beat world-class Zergs with it, which I cannot say that about myself. I cannot make that claim. Scouting Barracks coming to this bottom left-hand corner. I'm not sure what it expects to scout, but whatever. Hellion gets back here behind the third base, kills a couple drones, and then gets murdered. Its pieces flying up to the sky. Roaches moving into this third base and somehow avoiding the Banshee patrol. Couple Cyclones and some Hellbat transformations here. Gonna be enough, I think, to pick these Roaches off. SCV's coming on in, though. There we go. Pulling back now, running for it. He's trying to avoid the Cyclones or the Roaches. They can deal with the Hellbats pretty well, but man, Cyclones hit so hard against armored units, and Roaches are in fact armored. I'm really surprised that Bly has not been going for Ravager here, but he's got a Hive on the way, and 9 Swarm Host coming in. Whoa! Whoa, we don't really see Swarm Host that much at the pro level. I think I just made the claim. I just cast it into the Void game a couple days ago where the Zerg player at Silver used Swarm Host to pretty good effect, and I was like, that doesn't really mean Swarm Hosts are that great. But someone said, I'm glad they're proposing nerfing Swarm Host. They're so good. And I was like, well, do we ever see Swarm Host in pro games? I couldn't think of one that I'd seen in a long time, but ta-da, Bly! Bly comes through to prove me wrong, at least from WCS Jönköping. Got ourselves Burrow. Good. Burrow is something you really want for the Swarm Host, and some Vipers in production here too. I really, really like what Bly is doing right now. I really love it a lot. Vipers, I just feel like Vipers increase the chance of the Zerg player winning a match, especially against Terran, by about 31%. If they have Vipers, I just feel good about their decision-making and what they're going to be capable of doing here, especially against a meching opponent where you can blinding cloud stuff. Super useful. Queen trying to kill 5 Hellions by herself, but instead is going to get roasted alive, which is just bad way to die, I think. Roach is coming in with a nice flank, though. No! Sorry, Roaches. Oh, sorry, Hellions. The Roaches are going to tell you no. 2 of them get on in here, and they're going to roast up a drone, but that was probably not fair trade. Probably not a fair trade. And here is the Burrow attack. Oh! Coming into the natural base, Locusts taking down a missile turret. Good pull by the SCVs, getting them the heck on out of there. But supply depots are the new target for the Locusts. Trying to kill whatever they can before their timed life is out. Oh, the Banshees found him. The Banshees found the Swarm Hosts. Locusts flying back on into the natural to finish stuff off here. And I guess, yep, killing some SCVs that are brave enough to long distance mine. And by brave, I mean stupid. enough to long distance mine. Engineering bay might die, which means no more missile turrets. That'd be interesting. But they're a little bit distracted on their targeted firing, and nothing actually dies or gets burned down. Thor drop action. Oh, the abduct. The abduct on the medevac carrying the Thor there. Hydralisk's done. This might be the end of the Banshees, and in fact it is. Such good anti-air. Such good anti-air. This Thor drop action trying to do stuff, but Abduct just having a wonderful time. Transfuse keeping that Viper alive at the last second. Well played there by Bly. Somehow Bly's maxed out at 10 minutes. 196 to 152 total supply. He's going to try to locust in on this 4th base special. Yeah, that's not going to happen, special. Good lift. Good cancel and a lift there. You don't want to attack these guys directly if you don't have to. And almost losing a Hellbat there, but no big deal. A Roach Hydra Viper sneaking on up, abducting the tank. Man, Abduct needs to be used more often in all games. I'm going to make that argument. Spire on the way from Bly. I don't know if he can do this with Roach Hydra, but he's going to try to put some pressure on. And it's working so far against Special. 68 to 64 Harvesters, 4 base. 2 4 base. I mean, Special got his 4th up. He was able to lift against the Locusts. Are these guys on the cooldowns yet? Just about ready to pop another bunch of Locusts here, and indeed they are. That could be just a straight up dead tank if the target firing is good, or never mind, there's too much stuff here. Hellbats really good against Locusts, as it turns out. They are light units. +3 vehicle weapons on the way for Special already. Another Abduct on a tank on the front door here of Special. Blinding Cloud on the tanks. Roach Hydra trying to sneak on in to this natural base and kill what they can, going after supply depots. The Army of Special a little bit caught in this choke, and it's a nice concave. Another Abduct on a tank. The tanks can't sit back, man. Blue Flame Hellbats, though, against Hydralisks. Pretty great. That extra damage coming in a lot of handy. Actually, I lied. Is there extra damage from Hellbats against light, or that's just Hellions? Either way, a lot of SCVs dying here at the natural base, losing more supply depots. Special is not being supply blocked at this particular point in time. Hellions coming in to deal direct damage. 23 damage versus light with the Blue Flame upgrade. And these Hydras are dead, but taking a supply depot with them. Bly remaxing on Hydralisks. 15 on the way. Got himself a Greater Spire. Another Viper. He's going to maybe try to throw... it's a Planetary Fortress at the 4th base now. Also... oh, he actually made them land behind the mineral line so he could pick off SCVs, but no, the Army for Special. Shutting that thing down. Okay, look. Yes, it is extra damage versus light. 36 damage versus 22, so real good against Locusts. If I had to say. A couple Hellions just chilling over here where the Swarm Hosts are. If you give us a skin, sir, we could probably do something about this little infestation. Where are you, Locusts? Yep, light biological, and Planetary Fortress can handle this pretty well. I mean, if there's nothing else supporting it, it's a little bit harder. Can they finish off the tank? They can finish off the tank that was defending this 4th base, but PF has 12 kills. I think all of those are Locusts, and Special's decided it's time to move out. Trying to move out here with a whole bunch of tanks. Holy smokes, 13 tanks here. With +3 attack, Bly is in so much trouble right now. Just oodles of trouble. Locust still trying to harass this 4th base. Tank's going to take out the 4th base of Bly in revenge, though. It is a revenge killing. 8 Broodlords in production by Bly. Wow, Swarmhost and Broodlord out of Bly in this game. That's insanity. That's absolute insanity here. Hydras taking out the tanks thanks to the Blinding Cloud. Excellent, excellent Blinding Cloud placement here. The Vikings are trying to pick off the Vipers. V versus V there. Do fairly well with it. And this 4th base, man, in a lot of trouble. Here to defend the Broodlords, though, are the Hydralisks against the Viking attacks. I think he's giving up on this 4th. Can he save it? No, you got to support the Broodlords. Don't just let them die to these Vikings. Don't do that. Don't do that. But Broodlings on top of the tanks, a really bad time for any of these tanks here. Broodlords are sacrificing their own lives to make this thing happen, but it's good to save the 4th base if you happen to be Bly, and he does. Forces the remaining 2 tanks to retreat. Broodlings chasing them. Oh, Hydra is going to be the death of them too, and that's it. So that army is gone. It is 140 to 124 total supply. Bly looking okay, chasing these Hydralisks away. Resources lost 18,000 for Special compared to 18,000 for Bly. Pretty darn even. I had to make an estimate here, 32 drones have been killed, 46 SCVs. Are there some more locusts over here at the 4th? Yep. More locusts. 17 kills on this planetary fortress. Locusts can't take it down. I think you need more than this. I think you need more than 7 swarm hosts to get this thing down. Maybe with some corruptor support and some caustic spray could do it. But again, the Viking count's a little bit scary. Error. Oh, there we go, broodlords. Unsupported broodlords against Vikings. Yep, that's how that works. All the broodlords will die in that situation. Abducting the Vikings into this Hydra ball. Getting revenge. Locust still trying to take down this PF. Which is just, I don't know, it's super funny to me. SCVs are repairing very well, though. Actually getting picked off, too, by the Locusts. Excellent harass from Bly in this game. Blue Flame Hellion getting rid of the Zerglings. +1 attack on the Hydralisks. I'm surprised there aren't more upgrades here for Bly, but anyway, 5th base under construction. Actually, that's a 6th, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6th base done for Bly. He's got 71 drones to 54 SCVs from Special. Special's main base is mined out. Special's natural base is just about there. 4 very, very shiny mineral patches. And again, going after this planetary fortress. I just don't. 37 kills on the PF. It's an interesting strategy. 4 corruptors on the way for Bly. Perhaps he heard me. Perhaps he heard me. Anyway, if you're going to have this many Hydras, get upgrades for them, man. You can afford it. You're sitting, well, you were sitting on a bunch of minerals and gas, but now it's 100 minerals, so maybe not. 5 Broodlords. 5 Broodlords is where all that money went to. So Broodlord Hydra Viper against mech. I don't know if I've seen this strategy before against a meching player like this. So, indeed. 5th base done for Special upgrading. This one to a planetary fortress with tanks and sensor towers and missile turrets. Spread every which way. Another base on the way for Bly up north. That's going to be his 7th. Good golly. Locust coming down again. Splash damage. If you get the Locust in among these SCVs and then splash damage from the tanks, attacking the Locust actually hurts the SCVs. This is pretty good. It's pretty good for Bly. Once again, Broodlords getting killed by Vikings from distance. It's what they're good at. They have extra damage versus armored. And guess what's armored and flies for Zerg? Broodlords and Corruptors. Yes, indeedy. So Broodlords finishing off some tanks. Free tanks are nice. But don't get killed by the Vikings. How about you don't do that? Parasitic bomb tossed down on the Vikings. Great split. Out of major, though. Hydralisks coming right on into this 5th base. Maybe caustic spray being used. Nah, Corruptor trying to get rid of the Vikings. Tanks and Hellbats getting rid of the 6th base of Bly, though. Goodbye, 6th base. You are immediately and very quickly dead. Can he get this base? Can Bly take it down? Take down the planetary fortress 5th? The answer is I don't think so. This repair is too good. Way too good. Planetary Fortress here has 31 kills. Tanks and Hellbats marching on in supplies. 5th base. This seems like a fine place to kill everything. Wow, Swarmhost gets evaporated. Hydralisks getting blown off the map too, but enough of them are surviving the onslaught of sieged up tanks to take them out. Dun, dun, dun. 7th base done for Bly, but again did lose his 6th, which is not fantastic. Not the best news I've ever heard in my entire short life. Is it a short life? I'm 34. Is 34 a short life? Blue Flame Hellions at the 7th base, killing drones so easily because guess what? They have +3 attack in Blue Flame. With splash damage, so 25 damage per shot. When drones only have 40 hit points, it's not a good math. Not a good math problem if you happen to be a drone. Hydralisks show up to chase the Hellions away. Good reaction time from Special, getting the heft out of there. Because Hellions will suicide themselves like this if they're left to their own devices. Actually, most units will suicide themselves. If they see a tank over yonder, they'll walk into it even if they'll die. So babysitting is a big part of being a StarCraft 2 player. I mean, unless you hold position your units all the time, which I guess you could do. I suppose that's a possibility. Just reading future Reaper names. Broodlords coming in, again, unsupported. Bly, where are your Hydras at? Here they are. +2 attack on those dudes. No armor. Does it not matter if you don't have armor? Bly could probably explain it to me a little bit better. Some Burrow Roach harassment here at the third base of Special. Pretty much under lockdown with all the tanks here. Abducting the tanks. Blinding, clouding the tanks. Vikings can't do anything. Thor gets abducted here too. This is a really strong push from Bly, but he keeps going after this planetary fortress. Oh, blinding cloud on the PF means it can't attack. That's amazing. Oh, get it! Tanks on the high ground causing problems, though. Causing problems, and Bly is forced to retreat from that situation. He has lost a lot of Hydralisks. 95 Hydras, 25 Hellbats, and 43 Hellions, though. 27 tanks have been killed already? Wow. Tanks trying to sneak down from Special. Kill this base that doesn't exist. I guess the 6th base, again, which has been replanted by Bly, but not really any defense to speak of. Other than a spine crawler, 2 spine crawlers, which are not remotely done yet. Roach is still murdering things. Ah, Ravens for detection. Burrow Roach forced to get out. Landed Vikings. There to chase them away. Usually that wouldn't work too well, but there's only 2 Roaches. So you're outnumbered. Even if you don't necessarily usually die to this unit, you're going to die to this unit if you're outnumbered 7-1. Just a tip from ye old Falcon Paladin. Hydralisks getting rid of these Hellbats, or trying to. Hellbats marching on in with the blue flames, showing no fear, roasting them up. Roasting up the Hydras. Meanwhile, big attack here, losing Broodlords to this Viking cloud, which be real big. 10 of them with +1/+2. Hellbats roasting up this 7th base. Roasted, roasted, roasted. Another attack up here at the creep edge. Blue Flame Hellions killing those queens. Tanks here at the 6th base of Bly, saving the day of the Broodlords. They were in the neighborhood, so they're able to save it this time. Peace flying up right toward the screen. And the 7th base is still under lockdown, as I mentioned. Trying to attack on in here is a Special. Bly defending with Roach, Hydra, Viper, and it's working out for him. He got it. He was able to hold this off. Creep Spread is pushing up dangerously close to this 4th base of Special. His 5th base is up. I'm surprised Special hasn't expanded at this point in the game. Really shocked. Broodlords here to take down rocks, allowing additional access, attack access, to this 4th base of Special, and it's going to work out. They have +2 melee attack, and the Broodlings are going to die to this planetary fortress real fast. Actually, 42 kills on that PF. More Blue Flame Hellion shenanigans here at the 6th. Goodbye, drones. And Broodlings finishing that guy off as well. Parasitic Bomb on these Vikings and these Ravens, abducting Ravens into Hydra Balls. We should see more abducts, honestly, in StarCraft 2 matches. I don't know why not every pro uses Vipers. They're good. They're a good unit. I guess against the Bioterran, they don't have much utility. Blinding Cloud is too easy to move out of. Abduct isn't great against like single unit Marines and things. And Consume, or not Consume, and Parasitic Bomb against maybe Medevac groups would be okay, but otherwise not really getting rid of attack damage from the Terran, which is what you want. Blue Flame Hellions trying to kill this Roach, burrowing and regenerating its health very, very quickly. Roaches do that. I guess the only unit in the game that you can burrow and have their health regen at a super, super speed. 6th base done for Special. Got tanks defending here. Creep is right here. I don't know how else to emphasize it, but the creep is right here on the edge. I can't believe this game. This is insanity. Tanks chasing away, small attacks here, no big deal. NBD. These Roaches are still at the 3rd base, trying to kill stuff, and still burrowed. Is Special not want to use a scan on to kill that one Roach? I don't think he does. Does he have a scan available? I don't think he does. That's actually probably a more valid question. He doesn't. Bring in the Broodlords, bring in the Hydras and the Vipers and the Corruptors here into the 7th base. Can they take it down? Parasitic Bomb on the Vikings. Seeker Missile taking out these Broodlords. Oh, and the Vipers too. Woohoo! Big time splash damage there. Terran fans rejoice at that one. 185 to 122 total supply though. Bly is up big time, but he didn't kill that 7th base. Are we Sky Terraning it for Special? He's basically going Basically going Raven Viking here, producing more, double pumping those and getting tanks on the ground as well. It's just this creep spread from Bly is insanity. 5 more Broodlords in production, 2 more Vipers on the way. The Vipers that exist are consuming the crap out of things to the point that they're killing them. Tossing down additional spores. He's worried about the Sky Terran aspect. Is this Roach still here, or is this another one? It's a different one. He's killing SCVs, which might be doing Special a favor. Does he want to free up supply? He does not. Oh, was that actually? Oh, that was a drone trick. Made a bunch of spores, made a bunch of units with the available supply, and then canceled. He was at 205 out of 200. Hellbat's getting rid of Bly's 8th base down here in the very bottom left-hand corner of the map. Roaches versus Hellbats. +3 attack on the Roach. Dang. There's that. Saved it. Saved that base. Bly kind of sitting back. I don't know what he's worried about exactly. He has a lot of Hydras on the ground. Again, the +3 attack. Got Broodlords with +1/+1, +2 melee. +3 melee coming in for those ground units, including the Broodlings, which do benefit from those upgrades. Like Infested Terrans, well, possibly, if some of these suggested changes in Legacy of the Void manage to come through. Well, I guess that particular one manages to come through. I don't... Anyway. Anyway. This game is long. I didn't know how long this one is when I started the game number 2. This might be the longest game 2 in all time that I've cast on my channel. Small attack up here of Roaches picking off some Hellions and some Hellbats. Roaches running away. I guess they were worried about Seeker Missile, suppose. Or see, finally just finishing off his 4th base once everything's mined out. It looks like he is. Looks like he's going to get it. Can you save this special is the question. Seeker Missiles on the Broodlords maybe? Nah, base is gone. Planetary Fortress explodes. Trying to expand over this way is special. Roaches killing all the SCVs, transferring over ahead of time. Tanks finishing off the Roaches, but that's 14 dead SCVs in the last just minute or so here. 184 to 128 total supply. More Parasitic Bomb on the Viking, splitting off the Parasitic Viking, but then bringing it back into the group a little bit there too. Is that bugs? Is Parasitic Bomb actually biological bugs? Like, oh, that's amazing. Like crawling into the Viking and getting in the engines and the cockpit and stuff. Oh, the Seeker Missile splits! Not the greatest splits that I've ever seen. How many Broodlords dead is this? 15 Broodlords have died. 42,000 resources lost for special compared to 44 from Bly to this point. What a sick, ridiculously stupid game so far from these guys. Every base going to get mined out. Looks like it very well could. There is one unclaimed base that Bly is actually going to take on the left side of the map. I mean, it should be specials. It's over near where he started the game, but somehow it's not. Somehow, miraculously, it's not. So 8th base, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and then a 9th base now coming up for Bly. So every base has been taken on this map. At some point, we're going to get mined out, which means games are shorter than they used to be in situations like this, where every base needs to get mined out before we can really force anything. The players are so evenly matched. Free tank getting picked off by Lings here on the creep. More Lings running on into this 3rd base, trying to pick off yet another tank. Anything you can kill here with these Zerglings is going to be awesome. Bly has 6,000 minerals in the bank. Lift the supply depot. Didn't lift the supply depot. Zergling's going to go after, I guess, your supply depots and stuff. More Lings here at the 3rd, getting rid of a tech lab on top of that factory. Another tech lab might go down. It's on fire, but it's not down yet. Are these Zerglings still killing stuff in the main? They are still killing stuff in the main. And special sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, essentially 6 bases. This would be his 7th, but he lost his 4th at some point, which just gets so confusing. SCV kills, also real good. Real good. Tank kills, fantastic. These Zerglings are really keeping Bly in this thing. I mean, sure, more than half the map is purple. And Bly sitting on a bank of about 6,800 and 1,500. Gas. That is Corvid Reactor being researched by Special, increasing the starting energy of the Ravens. I guess if he's still making Ravens. And more spores in production for Bly. So his main army is hanging out kind of in a central location. He wants to protect his 7th base up top, but his 8th and his 9th bases are, I guess, protected by these Hydras to some level. I'm surprised he's still sitting at +1 ground carapace. I would be I don't know. I kind of felt like maybe he would have a better upgrade there, but he doesn't. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, he's working on +2 ground carapace. Yay, Bly! Getting those upgrades. Getting those upgrades. So we're just sort of hanging out. Specials Sky Terran Army here is defending his newest base. A few tanks trying to sneak on out. And possibly take out this 7th of Bly up in the top right corner. Hydra's trying to finish off. Ooh, Hellbats and tanks sneaking on in to this 9th base. Queen's tanking the damage. Hydra's doing the damage. That's exactly what you want to do. Just like World of Warcraft, which I don't know if you have played, but I have from time to time. Tanks doing a great job against this 7th base of Bly. Goodbye, thank you for coming. Hydralisks here at the 3rd. I don't know what Bly's obsession with the 3rd base is, but he's been here killing stuff for quite a while. Parasitic Bomb on all of the air units. Seeker Missile trying to chase. That one's going to fizzle. No? Oh, finishes off a Viper. I thought for sure that would fizzle. Point defense drones being thrown down. Spore Crawler shots getting absorbed by that. Tanks finishing off said Spore Crawler. No big deal. Did you, Broodlords, get these tanks? They're undefended right now. I mean, not super undefended. Did he lose that? And he lost this hatch. How did I not see that? 7th base gone. +3 tanks with siege mode. No joke. They are no joke. And speaking of the devil, 9th base under attack. There are no drones here to kill. I think Bly is going to let it go. Maybe come over in a little bit, but I don't think he can afford to let Special keep this thing. We can kill these creep tumors. Is he going to scan? Dude, scan. Does he not have scans? That's the thing. He's been using his mules really efficiently, which means he doesn't have enough energy for scans. Trade-offs. Trade-offs. Lings. Oh, finding our tank squad alone. The Zerglings tear into it. Reducing it to rubble in a matter of seconds. Coming on in. More Parasitic Bomb being thrown down on all these Vikings. Broodlords trying to finish off this base. Parasitic Bomb not actually particularly being split right now. Point defense drone trying to make sure this base lives, but no, Special gives it up. So both players take a base from each other in short order. A lot of dead SCVs, huge numbers of dead SCVs there. 27 dead SCVs. Is there more Seeker Missile? I don't think so. Once again, tanks getting cleaned up by Zerglings, just patrolling the creep, waiting for tanks to venture onto it. 184 to 133 total supply. I just feel like Bly has a stranglehold on this thing. Do you feel it? Do you feel it too? Kind of feel like Bly's got this thing going. Corruptors do have +2, +2, +3 flyer attack. Is that what it's called? Flyer attack? It is in fact called flyer attack. Infestors have joined the party for Bly. He's thrown down some infested, or some fungals. Not some infested Terrans, that'd be dumb. Some fungals. A chain fungal on the Raven group would be interesting. There's the Parasitic Bomb. Here comes the Seeker Missile. Get out of there. Look at the range on that thing. Bam! Immediate Transfuse, though, keeps the Viper alive. I mean, it didn't keep it from dying, but immediate Transfuse on the health that it lost was nice. It was good. Hellbats and tanks trying to sneak on up here to Bly's Extinct 5th. So, I mean, killing that extractor that is out of Vespene gas is probably not the best use of your time, but killing stuff in this game is all right. 9th base being reestablished by Bly along the left side, and Special is trying to replant his 7th base as well. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th base. 6th base as well. He's never had 7. But again, mech is all about being cost efficient. You don't have to have as many resources as a Zerg player to beat them. But we're looking at 54,000 resources lost for Special compared to 53 for Bly. So it's close. Definitely close here. Coming in, chasing after these Broodlords. Oh, the Seekers. Yeah. More Seeker missiles in. Look at the range on these things. Big old hit. Transfuses for all from the Queens, though, making sure not too much stuff has to die. Game is nuts. It's 17 Ravens, 8 tanks, and 13 Vikings with 3 Hellbats for Special. He's down 152 to 130 total supply. More Broodlords on the way. How many has he lost now? 20 Broodlords have died. 20. 49 tanks. lost their lives. What an absolutely epic game number 2 for you today. Just amazing, amazing stuff. No +3 armor for special. Little mineral starved he is. Where'd you go, music? Are you here? You are here, music. Aw, I missed you for those 2 seconds between songs. It is getting late. I might have to finish this best of 5 tomorrow, which is fine. Which is fine. It's not Sunday yet. It is not Sunday morning yet. Nor will it be. For quite a while, actually. What is today? Today is Friday. Today is Friday. This has been a crazy week. 9th base gone thanks to the Roving Tank Squad, also known as RTS. Sorry, 9th base. It was nice knowing you, but you're dead again. How many hatcheries is that lost? 6 hatcheries killed by special in this game. Pretty fantastic. Pretty fantastic. I don't know. Is Blight is trying to starve special out? If he is, he shouldn't have let him keep this base. 6th base is done. And Planetary Fortress up for special. It was a orbital command last time, so not quite ready for the onslaught, but now a little bit better. Does he have the high-sec auto-tracking? Range of 6. He doesn't have high-sec auto-tracking. Very surprising. Considering the number of missile turrets and planetary fortresses he has, why would he skip that upgrade? Can't imagine it's a mistake at this point. So 9th base done. Parasitic bomb on all of this sky stuff here. Wow. Do we have to back that up? We might have to back that up. Yep, Viper's just coming in. Special caught a little bit of sleep there. Ravens getting just destroyed. They don't have a lot of HP to begin with. And doing damage to their neighbors here too. That was a big hit. Big time hit. Are they consuming? Can they do another one? I don't think they can. They can use some abducts, but that's not what you want. More Seeker missiles? Seriously? Here we go! Oh, Broodlords. Almost dead. Not enough to one-shot them. Corruptors! And Overseers completely out. Is Special going to win this thing? Tanks again at the 7th base of Bly. Along this right side, it's going to be killed. Bly is forced to retreat. Special getting the ultimate revenge for those parasitic bombs that were tossed down and kills yet another base while retaining his own 7th. 9th base for Bly just about complete. Did that get killed and built by the time I left and came back? It seems like that might have happened. Seems like it could have happened. Spore. Morphin in for Bly. He really needs this base. Really needs the 7th, and Spore Caller is going to help him keep it. More and more Ravens on the way. How many kills? 3 kill Raven, 6 kill Raven. Really spreading the kills out well. 6 kill Raven, 5 kill Raven, 0 kill Raven. Step it up, man. Maybe he's new. Maybe that robot is new. Tanks wandering in. Hey, base. Do you want a 7th base, Bly? No. How about no? You don't get one. There's the cancel. And Queens don't engage this. Don't engage this, Queens. Trying to transfuse themselves. Broodlords throwing down those broodlings and chasing the tanks away. Get out of here, tanks. No one likes your style. Meanwhile, more tanks trying to come in. Oh, to take out the 9th, but there are Broodlords here. What? Broodlords defending the 9th base? Okay, fair enough. It's working. It is working for Bly. Okay, gonna try to replant his 7th again. He is. He's gonna try. 7, 8 hatcheries have been killed. Just killed immediately before it can even start growing or before it can be canceled. Tosses it down. Death. 154 to 154 supply. We are even at the 38-minute mark. That's crazy. Parasitic bombs on all of the Ravens. And guess what they're tossing off? Seeker missiles. On all the Broodlords. Tanks. Gonna finish this stuff off. Ah, this is pretty strong. Out of Bly. Can he take down a planetary fortress with Ravens? Transfuses here going down on the Broodlords, trying to keep them alive. Vikings, finishing off these Broodlords. This is where the Vikings are at the 9th base. Nicely done by Special. Oh, is he gonna get it? Drones are forced to retreat regardless, running for their little Zergy lives. And 7th base up for Special. 7th base for Bly getting replanted for the 18th time of this game. Vikings, yeah, Vikings having a great time. Do they have that bonus damage versus mechanical? They do. So, yeah. Another Seeker missile hit on Broodlords. Good golly, Miss Molly. 32 Broodlords have died. That is the most Broodlords I think I've ever seen dead in a game. Trying to siege up this planetary fortress and doing all right with it, actually. SCV's here to fight as well from Special. Trying to bait units into tank fire here. What a play from Special. Trying to finish off the tanks. Doing it. Fungal on top of some of these SCVs and these Hellbats. Slowly whittling down the units of Special here. Planetary Fortress with 13 kills. And Bly decides it is time to retreat from this location. 9th base is dead. 9th base is dead. Vikings have done their terrible ground damage, which is not something you'd ever think you would hear. Whiff on that Fungal. And 7th base is back for Bly. 38 to 54 Harvesters. Somehow Special is back up in the worker count. 103 drones have been killed. 251 SCVs. I mean, that is not anything to sneeze about. And by sneeze about, I mean actually sneeze about. SCVs coming on in for Special with tanks, with Vikings, with Ravens. The SCVs have upgrades? No. No armor upgrades on those guys. They don't benefit from attack upgrades anyway, but armor upgrades would have been nice. Would have been nice. Don't ask. A tank. Oh, the Ling attack destruction unit. Getting after these tanks as soon as they pop out of the factories here at the 3rd base. And here we go. Parasitic Bomb attacking into the 7th base. Is Special. Ravens getting picked out of the sky. Fungals on top of the Vikings. Hellbats trying to finish it off, but there are enough Broodlords remaining that the Hellbats are going to be of no use to anybody. Ling's taking out factories. Production abilities of Special are being extremely crushed right now. Suddenly doubling up supply as Bly. That attack for Special seemed a little bit desperate and did not go well for him at all. Tanks still trying to shell this base. The 7th base of Bly. At least getting an extractor. Are they in range? They are in range of the base. That's insanity. Can you get it one more time? Is that a whiff fungal? No, that was a spore crawler. Was a spore crawler consuming their own hatch that is under fire from tanks. Is Bly. So this Viper can do something else. Perhaps an abduct would be nice. This is insane. Can he get it? Can Special get this thing? 165 to 77 total supply. And there it is. The hatch is not gone. Distracting the tank fire temporarily, but now it's gone. Broodlord in production here for Bly. Everybody going away from the now defunct 7th base. Zerglings for Bly could do some more damage. Ooh, some free tanks up here you could get. I think they could get it, and even though there are 2 Hellions there. And there's a good game from Special! Special is defeated. And Bly ties up the series 1-1. Are you kidding me? In 42 minutes and 38 seconds. That's going to be 76,000 resources lost for Special compared to 78,000 lost for Bly. That is the biggest combined resources lost total I've seen in a long time. 33 Broodlords died, 18 Corruptors, 54 Roaches, 142 Hiders, only 107 Lings, but he only made 150, so whatever. 3 Thors, 66 Hellbats, and 66 Hellions. Don't know what that signifies. 57 tanks, 25 Ravens, and a Marine. A Marine with 10 hatcheries destroyed by Special. Whew. All right, that's game 2 of this best of 5. Holy cannoli. Let's check out game number 3 coming up for you guys in just a second. And we are back after an amazing game number 2. This is game number 3 on Odyssey, the Ladder Edition. And let's introduce these amazing players once again. In the top left side of the map, we have the red Zerg player, Bly. I thought I had enabled that after the last game, but apparently not. In the bottom right side of the map, his opponent, the blue Terran player, Special. They are tied up 1-1 in this best of 5, which now means it is a best of 3. Yes, the math checks out. Refinery. Wow, that's an early refinery from Special. Or maybe it's not. I need to be familiar with Terran timings here. Barracks going down. Refinery's just about done. Which means he'll have more than enough gas for a Reaper as soon as the barracks is done. I don't know. I don't know. It is late. I'm casting this so I can post this on Sunday at the regular time. Spawning pool first here out of Bly into a hatchery. He's anticipating 3x Reaper. I feel like just because that last game was so long and Major, or Special rather, lost it. Am I calling him Major again? Woo! Gotta get this straight. Gotta get it straight. Get your head in the game. Get your head in the game. Falcon Paladin, yeah, check this out. 8890, he's gonna have 100 gas by the time that barracks is done. He's gonna go straight to factory? Could do that, or just go Reaper instead and have 50 gas left over. So, and then orbital command upgrade, whatever. I don't know. He's gonna go for the expansion here, so the Reaper expand is definitely on the way. We have a Reaper game ready to go. I don't know if it's as long as the last one, because that last one was hecka long. And let's take a look at it and see what it is. Come on, Falcon Paladin. List of Reaper names. The Betrayed. So long. All right, this is Bisu. Since it is in the future, he can be reincarnated after being unlocked in a cryogenic cell. He failed to beat Flash, who was also unfrozen in an upcoming tournament, and the punishment was to become a Reaper. Dang, Bisu. That's rough. Bisu is a Reaper. Heading up north, looking to see if there are any Lings coming in, but the Lings took the south path this time. Oh, the mind games. The mind games. We saw this already once. And this time the Lings coming from the south instead of hiding up in the north, and the Reaper misreads it. Can they get this SCV before the Reaper comes back? Oh, the SCV is forced to retreat anyway. And can they take it down before they all get killed by this Reaper? One kill on that guy. This guy. These two trying to knock down their reactor at the top of this ramp. These early Lings are very annoying. Here, out of the Zerg player. Trying to pick off that one wounded SCV, forcing it to run. The Lings got inside. The liftoff. Special. Not changing his timing at all. Lets a Ling inside. He sees the double gas. He sees the starport coming in. He sees, okay, so it's likely going to be a Banshee at some point here. And Special does manage to finish his command center. Beast has got 4 kills. All of them are Lings, and that kept him away from the main base of Bly for just long enough for Bly to do whatever he needed to do. He's got Queens up. He is spreading creep. He's going to throw down a third base down here to the south, and the Reaper Bisu very upset. This feels like a carbon copy a bit of game number 2, I believe it was, where the same thing. Bisu was aggressive with his Zerglings. The Reaper wasn't able to get out here until a third base was on the way, until creep was spread, until there were Queens, and just had a really hard time doing anything here. I think he canceled that. Yeah, canceled that creep tumor as the Reaper was nearby, and KD8 charge and the attacks are pretty good. Overlord scouts in. Double pumping Widow Mines is Special in this situation. Interesting. A Widow Mine drop here, which I don't know if there's a way that Bly could tell what that was. He could see the double pumping, and I think he would assume it's Hellion, but he's not. Oh, is he going to have detection? This is a great play out of Special. I like this one a lot because you can hide what you're doing. That factory with the reactor is often going to be Hellions. There's really no reason to go Widow Mines most of the time against Zerg, but in this situation where there's no detection, there's no lair, there's no sign of Spore Crawlers coming up at all, and I just feel like Bly should have gone for Spore. He saw the double gas. He saw something interesting was going on here, but instead, no. So we do have some Zerglings running around seeing if there's a third base for Special or not, and there's not. Coming on in with the Widow Mine drops. Good reaction time from Bly, getting the heck out of there. The Queen's going to absorb one shot, which she can do and not die. The other one going to drop here in the natural base. Drones probably should get pulled here. No, they're not getting pulled. And focusing on what? What are you going to fire on? Okay, so it does end up getting a drone. Yep, a drone there. And they're still burrowed. So they've stopped all mining at the main base for Bly. That is not good news for him. Spore Crawler coming up at the natural base, which is great. And is he making another Spore? Is he getting a lair? I did think he just sent all of his Lings down to this third base. Holy Zergling Roach Ravager attack, Bly. 5 minutes in here. Corrosive Bile. Oh, that Raven. Almost like a face full of Corrosive Bile there. This is going to be interesting for Special. Possibly some auto turrets here. SCV's in position to repair. Oh, they pull away. There's a tank now for Special. Just now popped out, and I think it's time to go if you're Bly. Can you get in here? Is the question. Taking down that bunker. Lings are inside. All that are left are a few Ravagers and a couple of Roaches, though, against the tank. A bunch of Marines. I don't know if it's going to be enough. This tank splash is pretty damaging to these Roaches. SCV's being pulled off the line to attack and to repair. He is repairing that supply depot like a boss, but no, loses it. And the SCV and another one. And a Banshee does come out here. Are you still? Auto turret harass here at the third base. Queen's stabbing down this Raven, though. The Raven, I think, is going to die if it gets target fired. But double auto turret, pretty scary stuff. And the Raven does manage to survive. Both queens are dead. Drones being killed as well, but the attack of Bly, on the other hand, is cleaned up after 7 SCVs die. So it's 46 to 41 Harvesters. This is a really hard-fought game number 3 here. Nobody wants to go down. Nobody wants to go down 2 games to 1 in a best of 5. That is not where you want to be. Did he move that spore? Might have moved that spore from the natural to the main because he's building another spore. Right here. Overlord doesn't have a lair, so can't be poop and creep to slow down the landing of this third base by Special just to the left and outside of his main base. +1/+1 on the way for Special here too. He's got himself some stim. He's got barracks. That starport has a reactor. And a 4th base on the way from Bly here at the gold. Again, even further south. Banshee shows up. There's a spore crawler, but not a queen yet. Oh, Special. He is just so aggressive. His style is constant harassment against the Zerg player. You cannot sleep. You cannot sleep against Special's harassment at all. Banshee trying to take down this 4th base, or at least harm it to the point where it is severely injured when Special's enemy, or units rather, come over and try to kill it later on. Marines wandering up to this Overlord and killing it. Does get a scout off inside the main base. Barracks. Lots of barracks. So he's not meching it this time. This is a big difference from what we saw in games 1 and 2, where it was mech out of Special, but he's going for the bio this time around, which he's very capable of doing. And he's trying to do a creep highway to get these queens to finish off this Banshee, and they are going to get it. Banshee reaction time not good enough. 2 queens, too much DPS. Zerglings in here at this 3rd base of Special. What a game! What absolute great play from both of these players so far. Very excited to see who's going to win this one. Infestation Pit just about done for Bly. For Infestors, I don't know. Possibly for Infestor, possibly just for Quick Hive. Maybe some Swarm Host would not be bad. Although against a Bio player, a Marine Tank player, Swarm Host not as good as they are against Mech, as we have seen in the past. Fleal Reconstitution up. Infestation Pit used for nothing, which I find very odd. Another auto turret tossed on down to this Raven. This Raven has 6 kills. Pretty good stuff. Aspire would be really useful here. Bly, but he's not doing it. He is not doing it, and he might feel like he needs to later on. 4th base, again, severely injured. Bly is looking at this and going, oh, doesn't have a lot of health, and check this out. Marine simming right on in. He didn't even bother saturating this hatch. I think he knew. That was going to happen. Broodlings come out. Roach is trying to get some shots off before they retreat. Wheel Reconstitution is done. These are big, fast roaches. Infestation Pit is being used to make Infestors burrow. Being researched here too. Raven has 8 kills. Dang, that's 14 drones killed. It's 56 to 67 Harvesters. There was a bit of a Ling run by here inside the main base. I don't think they got any SCVs though. Anyway, it was cleaned up pretty darn handily. So it's a Roach Infestor play. Out of Bly, working on +1 ground carapace. Is he making any Ravagers is my question. No, just Roach Infestor. Very Wings of Liberty strategy here for you, Bly. I don't know about this, except that the Infestors can burrow cast, which is a difference from the Wings of Liberty, absolutely for sure. Marine on this high ground, kind of scouting to see where the army is, and does get that information, report it back home, and then get murdered. Both Zelnaga watchtowers, or rather one of the Zelnaga watchtowers here is being held by the Terran, the other one by the Zerg. Sensor towers up. Marines are at +1/+1. Tanks don't have any upgrades yet, but they're working on +1 vehicle weapons, which is nice. A lot of Infestor here. Already has 4 as Blind. He's making 3 more without pathogen glands. He's completely skipping this upgrade, and I don't agree with it. If you're making this many Infestors, especially Marine drop here in the natural, did get scouted. And I don't know if this medevac is going to be able to do much of anything here. The rest of the army does get spotted here by Bly's Roach, Ravager, Ling, Infestor army. Throws down a fungal growth on the tanks. Not exactly what you want. Marines in the main base killing a few drones, but for the most part just getting killed because their medevac is dead. Thanks to those queens. 4th base scanned by Special. He sees that Bly is replanting that gold base. He's going to send off some units to try to kill them while at the same time going after this other 4th base that Bly tossed up just outside of his main. I don't know if there's enough here for Bly to handle it. The Marines, yes. The 4 tanks, 5 tanks, no. Definitely not. The fungal bile, pretty good there. On the Marine group, Marines and Marauders landing on this gold base of Bly is going to take it out. I think this 4th hatch is going to die too. The tanks are in range to shell it pretty much consistently here. There's the scan to see the Infestors. They're getting target fired very nicely by the tanks and the Marines. Fungal's trying to get rid of those tanks. Not going to be enough. The gold base is gone. The attack moving on up to the 3rd base of Bly here, and I think this might be it for our Zerg player. He's going to lose this 3rd. He's going to be down to 2. Mining bases. Whoa, bam. +2/+2 Marines with stim and medevac support are so good. Infestor is trying to catch them with a fungal bile or a chain fungal of some kind, but it's not going to be enough. Burrowing the roaches, but the scan reveals them. Good fungal. Catching those units, but there's no bile to follow it up. Maybe the drones should be attacking here? I don't know. Coming down this ramp, the roaches and the ravagers, and look at how well they're healing. Huge army, 171 and 97 total supply, and that's a good game out of Bly. Bly is defeated, and Special takes game number 3. Give him a 2 next to his name. And we'll be back with game number 4 of this Best of 5 series in just a second. Welcome back to this Best of 5, everyone. Game number 4. We'll be here on Proxima Station, the Ladder Edition. And let's introduce these guys again. In the bottom left corner of the map, we have the blue Terran player. It is Special. And in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Bly. All right, so Bly versus Special. We're back in game number 4. Bly is fighting for his life right now. If he loses this game, there is no game 5. He goes home. Does not make it to the round of 8 of WCS Jönköping. So the Ukrainian is going to be fighting for his life right now. Gets the spawning pool into Extractor. The early harassment's been working pretty well. Here against Special, he's delayed base construction. He's managed to be able to keep Reapers at home, but on this map, where the expansion is back here and safe from Ling attacks, especially just Lings on the ground. Ling drops are a different story, but can't get those nearly as fast. I just don't see this working as well for our Zerg player. This has got to be purely defensive. If he sends Lings across the map here, I will be shocked. Oh, double gas opening out of Bly and a Roach Warren. Oh, it's a 1-base Roach Ravager attack. Okay. This looks like the Inertio 1-base Roach Ravager Ling attack, which I've been told he came up with. I'm told he popularized. And we've seen it. We've seen it on the channel before. So if that's what's happening, I don't know that Special's going to be ready for it. He's not scouting. He's not sending an SCV out at all. Man, Zerg players, put this build in your back pocket. It's a good one. SCV coming out now. Going to scout about the 130 mark, but by the time he gets here, the Roach Warren's going to be done. You'll notice Bly stopped making workers. He's sitting at 13 workers, whereas Special already has 19, which means if this game continues past the point where the Roach Ravager attack happens and Special's not dead, Bly is out. Like, I don't think there's a way he comes back from this at all. There is a Reaper. This Reaper will be the bearer of bad news. He's going to see this, and he's going to tell everybody, and they'll be like, what? This is going to be Husky. This is why he retired. He was just done. Done! So he joined the Reaper Corps in hopes of taking as many workers with him as he could. Dang. Dang, Husky, you hate Zerg that much? You know what? He did main Protoss. So that's fair enough, I suppose. Oh my gosh, a Ling got in here. How did a Zergling get in here for Bly? Is he going to kill an SCV? No. Oh, he kills an SCV and comes in for the full scout. Bunker at the top of the ramp. Special scouted this thing with an SCV. Oh, did he? I don't think he... Did he see the roaches coming in? Why is he defending this so hard? Did he scout the lack of a base? No, he came up here and then went out. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what Special saw, but he does have a bunker at the top of the ramp, which implies he knows what's going on here. Ravagers, goodbye, Husky. Oof, so dead so fast. Again, Ravagers are the answer here. They can just walk past this bunker. There is nothing here for Special. SCV's coming in, trying to repair this one Marine bunker that Bly is not afraid of at all. Prosobile's finishing it off. The Marine inside gets killed. The SCVs retreating for their lives. One Cyclone on the way for Special, but again, Cyclone's great against Roaches. Not as good against Ravager. This is kind of just a straight-up Ravager push. He didn't even make any made Roaches, but he didn't attack with any of the Roaches. Prosobile hitting SCVs, trying to get this surrounded. They're going to kill one of the Ravagers, which is a good deal. 13 to 13 Harvesters. This Cyclone gonna finish, and it's gonna be enough to hold it off here. This is looking really bad for Bly. Really bad for Bly. Another Ravager ends up dead there. The repair, the ultimate repair. That wasn't even a 5-minute attack. That was like a 3-minute attack. More Ravagers joining the party, trying to get rid of this factory. That's how annoying it is here. And look at this. Not even, again, no bonus damage, and able to kill another Ravager. No big deal. 2 kills on the Cyclone. This is all that stands between Special and a game 5 right now is this Cyclone with all the SCVs repairing it for all time. And is it going to work? The SCVs are getting destroyed. Prosobile's landing, not hitting much of anything. There's 2 Cyclones here now. This is not looking good. For Bly, I know I've said this before, but dang, Cyclones are the answer to everything in the early game. They are so great. Another Ravager down. Bly forced to retreat from the situation. It is 10 to 13 Harvesters, though. There are not many Harvesters for Special. He's down 3. Lock-on ability on that Overlord. I don't know if you want to do that. Corrosive Biles landing on that barracks. Enough to make it burn. That's really good. Cyclone with 2 kills. Cyclone with 2 kills. 4 kills on those dudes. Another Cyclone popping out here. Special knows how to respond to this, but guess what's going across the map? More and more Ravagers. Right now, there are 5 with 3 Roaches here, too, against 3 Cyclones and pretty much nothing else. If he loses this barracks, no more Marines produced, which doesn't really matter. One of the Cyclones are dead. The other one out. The barracks is gone to Corrosive Bile. Cyclone's not even really microing at this point. The remaining Cyclone is the new guy. He only has 0 kills, and by that I mean he has 0 kills. Shouldn't have said only there. Yeah, SCV's getting picked off from behind as well. This factory taking a lot of damage. If it burns down, that's going to be it for Special. SCV's again fighting. Still has 10. He's lost a lot. He's lost 20. But he knows he just has to survive, and he can win this thing. This is the most protracted Ravager rush I've ever seen. Either it works or it doesn't, but so far it's been kind of in this state of limbo. Oh, 5 Ravagers. The last one gone, and that's a good game from Special. Oh, Special is defeated, and Bly is victorious there in a very fast game number 4. Quick pull-up of resources lost. Zerg player 1,500 lost versus 2,800 for Special. And yeah, 25 SCVs, 3 Cyclones, 5 Marines in exchange for 7 Ravagers, an Overlord, and a Zergling. So we do have a game 5, everybody. We're tied up 2 games, 2-2, as you can see in the top right. We'll be back with the rubber match, which, again, the origins of that phrase are unknown, with Falcon Paladin in just a second. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, to this best of 5 between Special and Bly. Game number 5 will be on Sequencer. The latter edition, and holy early drone coming out here for Bly. Is he just scouting, or is he going to proxy hatch? Proxy hatching in a best of 5, game number 5, would be the biggest, bravest thing I've ever seen a Zerg do on my channel. Oh my goodness. I think he is. I think he is, unless he throws down a spawning pool right now. He does not. Oh my gosh, Bly. Oh, Bly. He's going to proxy hatch against Special. A terrifying Terran. He's doing it. He's doing it right. This fourth base location for Special. First base is here. Second base either here outside or here in the safe location too. There's a couple good places you can toss it down. I mean, they're both pretty easily wall-offable right here. Either way, I'm going to call it a fourth base location just to the right side here is Bly. Getting a spawning pool down here too. And again, no scouting from Special. He is not scouting. He assumes a macro style game because that is how these usually go. Is how this works. Is game 5s, everybody's conservative. Nobody wants to take chances. Everybody pulls back from engagements if they're not going very well. And it can lead to like 45, 50-minute games in game number 5 just because, again, nobody wants to go home is what it is. And if they make a mistake early and they lose, they'll feel dumb about it. I mean, you feel better about a game where you hung with someone for 45 minutes rather than one that you lost in the first 10. It's just how it is. Either way, that Reaper is just, or rather, Hatchery is just about done. There is a Reaper. That's what distracted me and forced me saying the word Reaper there. This Reaper's name is going to be Mort. Mort grew bored with ruling, so he struck an agreement with his father-in-law, also called Mort, and talks like this. Yeah, there it is. So that is actually going to be a Death reference from Terry Pratchett's Discworld series. He has a character named Death. He talks in all caps. He talks fairly monotone. That's the assumption anyway. I mean, you read his words, right? Did he just scout that? Oh my gosh, he scouted it. Why would he scout over there? I guess maybe he was looking for lings. He was looking for Zerglings is what he was doing here. Immediate bunker construction. He's going to let the natural base finish. Special is going to. He thinks he can hold this thing. Roaches on the way from Bly. I love this so much out of Bly, but it did get scouted because, again, Special's used to checking this area for lings that Bly's been hiding around the map, and I think that came back to bite him. I really feel like if Bly hadn't been doing this, the hiding the lings thing, this base would not have been scouted at all. KD8 charge blowing those roaches. They have a hard time dodging. SCV killed before it can finish the command center. That's not good. Another SCV comes in. Can it finish the CC? No. Can't do it either. I mean, I don't know if you can just kill the base. if you are Bly here. I think you have to kill Special, honestly. Is he making Ravagers? He's not. He's not making the Ravager, and the base finishes. Okay, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. Oh, just kidding. Well, I said that. Ravager's on the way. Command Center lifting up and moving on out. This is going to be another incredibly close game between these two players. Bly with the aggression in Game 5. I can't believe it. Bunker taking Corrosive Biles to the face, getting repaired by these SCVs. Special knows he's up 23 to 18 Harvesters. Is he going to start harvesting from this natural as Bly? Not really a natural, just second base. Corrosive Biles down. Bunker is out, and the Marines very short-lived after that bunker dies. They just don't have many hit points at all. Tank's out for Special. That's a huge deal. Oh, can he get the reactor? Getting the reactor would be nice. But I think the SCVs are going to repair this one too. They are getting it. Oh, reactor on fire. And oh my god, it's down to like 0 hit points. There it is. And a supply depot here too. Does Bly have this thing, you guys? I cannot believe what I'm seeing here. Siege Tank already has 2 kills. This looks very much like what we saw in game number 4. He's making tanks instead of Cyclones this time. Maybe he feels like Cyclones weren't the answer, whereas Tank was. Overlord getting high ground advantage here too, allowing the Ravagers to hit this command center. The Special thought was safe inside his main base. It was not safe. It was not safe, ladies and gentlemen, not at all. This tank can hit these guys, sort of. Oh, command center down to 100 hit points. Is going to get repaired and is going to land. So barely saving it. Corrosive Bile can hit the tech lab on this factory too. Oh, any supply blocked? Is Special supply blocked? He is 37 out of 38, essentially supply blocked. Oh, missed with that Corrosive Bile, but I think that tech lab would have died otherwise. More roaches, more queens. Oh, he could have got the tech lab. Does he think he got the tech lab? He doesn't, because he sees it still there. Sees it still there. Overlord's all over the place. Reaper, oh, got 2 kills. Dang. Dang, Mort, he got 2 kills while I was not paying attention. I mean, stuff was happening down here, so I don't feel too bad about it. But, you know, there was really nothing to defend. How did... I guess there's a queen. There is a queen here. And a roach. So that's enough, I think, to chase Mort away. At least keeping Bly's attention elsewhere for a little bit is a good thing. APM for these guys, right around 300 on average for each. Nobody has a major advantage on that one. Not even the teeniest or tiniest bit. Tank from Special, sitting on 1 base. Recognizing, yeah, my Zerg opponent maybe is expanding right now, but there's no way he's already got 2 mining bases. This is interesting. Oh, okay. So Bly's hitting this debris at the front lines of Special. Basically, so it's harder for Special to wall off when the time comes. We are moving into a mid-game here between these two. Single medevac with Marines. 7 Marines instead of 8, but whatever. Time is of the essence. Gonna move on up and try to kill some things. And you know what? They might actually have a lot of success here. Mort coming in. Has 2 kills, doesn't have any more kills. He's trying to get into that Reaper Hall of Fame. It's just not working out too well for him. This debris, which again protects the 3rd base fairly nicely for Terran players who want to use it, is going to go down too. Which just means Bly's setting himself up nicely for a mid-game, but guess who showed up? Marines! Surprise Marines! Ravagers and Roaches are here to defend. Drones are transferring. Ravager Egg trying to come in. Oh, does get nice target fired down here by Special. Ravagers sneaking on in, trying to see is there a 3rd base that we can kill in this location. There is not. Is there a natural base we can kill? No. We are 1 base to 1 basing it right now. Overlord's in the middle of the map, trying to get on the high ground. Nope. Bly is not supply blocked, though. He has 82 available supply and 58 supply. 4 workers have been killed by Special. Bly's gotten 5 SCVs. 5 SCV kills with his name. Overlord's continuing to get murdered here, and Marines going after this natural base of Bly's. Is that another dead drone? Might be another dead drone. Infestation, very quick infestation bait for Bly, considering what he was doing here early on. Burrow being researched, glial reconstitution being researched. Special's going to land his natural base here at the 7-minute mark, which is way later than he wanted, but he's feeling okay about it. This drop is really great, actually, for Special. Queen needs to get, there we go, needs to get some hits off on that medevac and harm it. Harm it from distance. Marines getting rid of this proxy hatch of Bly's. Drones being created here and trying to run away, and they do manage to escape, which is good news for them. Maybe some static defense would have been okay here for Bly, but he's really saying, you know what, let's just let it go. Let it go, let it go. Don't keep that hatch alive anymore. Marines here inside the main base getting shot in the face by acid. And Queen's going after that medevac here too. 5 more drones killed. Ravagers actually saving the proxy. Well, Marines just don't do well on these numbers against Ravagers. And is Bly going to use it for anything? I don't know. Burrow just completed. Another base on the way for Bly here. Marines trying to shoot it down, as Special has been known to do. Is try to murder things that are Bly's. And then forcing them to retreat at the very least. And Fester could catch this medevac. Where is your Queen? There's your Queen. Where is your Queen? If 5 tanks show up, and get rid of that proxy. Sublime, no saving it there. Definitely no saving it there. A Banshee here. Again, Special's harassment skills are sick. He's going after drones. This Banshee already has 7 kills. That is 17 drones killed so far. Queen's trying to save this thing, but guess who's running around with tanks and Ravens? It's Special. It's 85 to 59 total supply. Special somehow has way more workers and way more stuff. Army supply, well, I don't know. Army supply is pretty even, actually, around 2,000, 23, 2,400 each. But look at that. 52 SCVs to 25 drones. 25 drones. How do you compete? How do you compete with fewer than half of your opponent's workers? I guess infestors are a great equalizer. Casters usually do help with that kind of a thing. But Special moving up with his tanks, moving up with the Marines, both taking different paths to get there, which is odd to me, but I don't know. Special's a good player. I'm not going to second guess him too much here. Overlords are in great positions to see this coming. He knows it's here. Bly does. Does he see it coming? He sees it coming. He's just making a hive. Why isn't he making units here? He's droning up. Oh, no, Bly. You can't drone up here. There's a giant army coming to murder you. You have to stay alive. That is the big thing. Infestor trying to get that cast off from Burrow, but no, the scan reveals that the tanks finish her off. And this tank count alone is very, very scary for our Zerg player. Auto turrets tossed down, finishing off Ravagers before they can do really much of anything else. Auto turret DPS is insane, you guys. Marine trying to kill the Ravagers, not going to happen. Tanks down here, I keep expecting them to do something, but the Marines themselves, Corrosive Bile does take down a Raven. That Special brought along. Can Bly hold this off? He's only down 57 to 43 Harvesters now, and he's making roaches. Fungal Bile. Oh, goodbye, Medevac. Goodbye, Marines. I mean, literally in that case, but also they have a hard time staying alive. Infestor coming around this backside. Maybe Infested Terran. Oh, the scan, though. One Infested Terran comes out, dies immediately. Debris that is protecting the third base of Bly is now dead. 134 to 94 total supply. Special, can he finish this thing off? Direct assaults on this third base. Killing Queens. Trying to kill Queens anyway. Lings, Roaches, Ravagers trying to respond, coming from all directions here. Corrosive Bile's on top of the tanks. One of the tanks is down, but there are still 4, and a 5th one is joining the party. The Marines and the Marauders with Stim. No +1/+2, but it doesn't matter. Swarm Host coming in for Bly, but once again, I'm not sure how much this actually matters. Corrosive Bile taking down another tank. That is the one thing that is good about Corrosive Bile, is that it's good against stationary targets, and Special's bringing tanks along to try to make this thing happen. APM for these guys is well over 300 as they are fighting for their lives. Lings trying to get rid of this Marine group. Just not enough. Just not enough, trailing them on in. Swarm Host, I don't think is the answer here, but he's going to try going for the Locust thing anyway. Bam. Marines dead, but the Ravagers getting backed into a corner by these Marines and these Marauders. And the Burrow, the scan, though, he's got the scans available. Special, so smart to keep those scans available. Is the Swarm Host still alive? The Swarm Host is still alive, but that cooldown is essentially forever. It's like 50 seconds, 45, 50 seconds. Dang. I know they're free units, but that's a long cooldown. Corrosive Bile's trying to pick off another medevac. Oh, so almost dead. 6 hit points on that thing, but simming forward is Special. Tanks bringing it up here too. 135 to 58 total supply. Drones forced to fight. Ravagers getting wrecked by these tanks from long distance. Medevac's healing everybody. Swarm Host killed on the ramp, leaving its blood all over that way into the main base. The natural base is toast, and that's a good game out of Bly. Bly is defeated, and Special is victorious, taking it 3 games to 2 in this best of 5 series. What a crazy game number 5. Wow. That was a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, the aggression early from Bly, holding it, is Special, and then just absolutely goes ham. Who's still in this game? Gotta stop stopped doing that. Admin A was still in the game. That's why the music was going. Wow, 10,600 resources lost for Bly compared to 6,400 for Special. That really tells the story there. And 45 drones lost their lives. A lot of those were at the end, but even still, you heard me when it was like 23 to 58 harvesters. It was not good for Bly at all. But Special weathers the early storm, the control on the tanks, the control on the Marines, and the Marauders. Just amazing. Bly got greedy, I think. Look at them going for Ultralisks and Festers at like the 10-minute mark. I think he could have held it if he'd had more Roaches and more Ravagers when the army came up instead of droning up when that attack came. Could have done it, droned up immediately afterwards after thwarting it, and then would have been able to tech up as much as he wanted. But again, droning when he should have been making units is the biggest conundrum for Zerg players in Legacy of the Void. So good job, Bly. Good way to fight hard for Ukraine. And same thing for Special. Fantastic representation of the company. Whew, the country of Mexico. I got to go to sleep. Let's go to sleep. And that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.